We thank you for joining me here at the American News Network, major news network on Roku. The United States has been officially asked to vacate Qatar, Iraq, and Syria. They are through with Jack Wagon Joe and all of his malarkey. They have had it. They know that this guy's word means utter nonsense. He's respected as a pedophile. They know him as Pedo Pete. I know him as Jack Wagon Joe. What is Jack Wagon Joe doing? Well, he's left us completely defenseless for the last couple of weeks. His affirmative action hire, the chef from South Park, Chef Lloyd Austin, is officially AWOL. He did not report this to Jack Wagon Joe on December 22nd. Then normally protocol would give that over to his assistant. However, she's been vacationing unaware in Puerto Rico. I'm not kidding you. We have been completely defenseless for half a month going on into the new year. And that's because we have a fraudulent administration that doesn't care about your security and my security. What's AWOL? Absent without official leave. Is this a punishable offense? You damn well right it is. You see, for those of us that know when we see him speak, I call him the chef because I look at the ribbons that he wears and it's like, my God, you're a general, but you're wearing your basic training medals. That speaks volumes to everybody. Trust me, it does. So what are we doing? We've been told to get out. And that's something that we work so hard for. Everywhere we've had support, we're losing, we're crumbling because this administration's more concerned about giving our money away while they're stealing our money than they are about everything else. And you know, the Federal Reserve is something I'm going to bring up. They were the creators of the original cryptocurrency because they gave value to our money without gold. And it didn't have a value until after World War II. We learned he who controls the oil controls the world. And many of us knew that was true. And so you had to buy your oil and gas, believe it or not, in the U.S. greenback until this last year. Starting this year, we've lost that control, and now Putin, Colonel Putin of Russia, controls oil and gas trade throughout the entire world. The United States media has not talked about it, but the cryptocurrency that we've held on to for so long that validated the dollar was the ability to buy oil and gas only in U.S. dollars. That is officially dead. The government's going to go after all of our cryptocurrency because, like I said, they created it off this nonsense to begin with. And we held on to that control, and that supported all of Japan, Taiwan, Saudi Arabia. But when we started going and we let Big Mike Obama introduce the T of Trans-America, we lost the Saudi support in God, in Allah. Yeah, in a belief. We could say, oh, they believe in this, we believe in that. You know what? There's so many more similarities than differences. We as parents are fighting. Trust me. We see eye to eye on many things. And those things need to be talked about. But the petrodollar has separated us now. This 1% that we've given freedom to has separated us from our security throughout the Middle East. They will not let their children be indoctrinated. And that is exactly why they closed the door to the United States of America. And don't say that we're a nation of God anymore. I want you to know when you read the Bible and you go back in time throughout the Old Testament, it always says this leader left God. And when this king or this leader left God, that country then was destroyed. They don't ever talk about the citizens and what they believed in, do they? Oh, but all the citizens, there were a lot of believers. The only time I heard that story was in Sodom and Gomorrah, and then she turned around and became a pillar of salt. But the petrodollar is a pillar of salt now. And we worked so hard to have that stability, and we could owe the demise of that to Jack Wagon Joe. And like I said, he has left us completely defenseless. The media has come out with what do you think Kim Jong-il is thinking? What do you think Putin is thinking? I bet they're thinking now's the time to get America. Their defense secretary is out on an elective surgery. Now I would guess by his stature that it's either a stent, a hemorrhoid, or a circumcision. But regardless, That's no damn reason to have us defenseless. Now, on to other news, and this is something that Samantha brought up, so thank you, Samantha Doobie. But she was talking about how Blackrock, Blackstone had laid off a lot of people. And I was like, well, this is a sign. I bet they're either going to form other corporations. But what is Blackrock and what is Blackstone? Well, what you're seeing behind me is the Black Stone of Mecca. They worship a black rock, a black stone. Perhaps that organization is aligned with this because the one behind me is. And on the northeast corner of this, right there and there, that is the Black Rock, the Black Stone of Mecca. It is controlled by MBS. Okay? Mohammed bin Salman. He is the king of Saudi Arabia. His father, that's the king, is basically bedridden. And it's just him that has held Hezbollah off. And now we see a division of Blackrock. And is this the Blackrock and Blackstone that they all worship that funds that all behind me? And then if that's the case, is that the organization that had Fox sue itself and then by that had lawyers mediate to disseminate our U.S. Constitution? What do I mean by that, Chris? Well, I mean, lawyers couldn't talk about the freedom of speech, the freedom of press. So we had BlackRock and Vanguard basically come in and sue a company that they owned 5-10% of. So realistically, they sued themselves. And then instead of arguing this out in front of a judge, they mediated. And by mediating like that, they set a precedent case of not defending the rights of the media, not defending the freedom of speech, and turning the United States of America once again into what was the old Soviet Union, what Colonel Putin took out. And so I'll tell you something about Putin. They try to place blame on him. What utter nonsense. And I'm going to tell you why. Everybody that's older remembers old Russia, the old USSR, people that had to escape. They had to stand in line for toilet paper and ham. They had to steal from one part of their force from the other. People I knew, officers in the military that had to steal from the Army, then to the Air Force so they could win a lottery to leave. And today after 20 years of Putin, we see millionaire Russians that are trading from Greece to Italy to Spain, and they have freedom equal to you and I. So that stability that goes all the way back to the Queen of England when she was saying, even with Putin, why is America fighting that ridiculous war in Iraq? Because we all know it was. But you see, the appetite of destruction is strong for the United States of America, and it has to stop. We can't have politicians that just win on having one nation fight the other. And there's two countries that make everything. Everybody's either got an AK-47 or an M16, and to me that says either Uncle Sam or Mother Russia. Two Christian countries delivered your appetite for destruction. Now, is BlackRock the Black Stone? Are they letting things off? 5 times a day, if you submit, you have to pray in the direction of Mecca. Now, personally, through my studying, I believe that BlackRock was actually found in a cave in Petra. Now, you would have to understand Arabic and how to read it, but the word Petra and the word Mecca is only one dotted difference. And could the Quran have been misduplicated? Because there's no caves in the current day area of this place of Mecca. There's also never ever been vegetation there. And all of the old ancient mosques actually point to the ancient city of Petra, which is where I believe that Muhammad probably took his inspiration. Now, what's happening is MBS and the Shiites have been fighting, and so far Israel has been getting support from, no kidding, Saudi Arabia, but the people are revolting against him so much that he can't stop what's coming. So I'm wanting to prepare everybody for this. The front out there, this prosperity operation, the reason why the world doesn't like it is because they want to be very clear that Jack Wagon Joe is not the leader of it, nor do they want him to be, because he's the cause of this. They damn well know that we're giving Iran $16-17 billion and that they're using that immediately to then fund a war to us. This administration is also thinking of giving that amount of money to Russia. Yeah. But yet we have record amounts of unemployed people. I just showed you Melrose Avenue, completely abandoned. You can join me on Major News Network on Roku. It's part of the programming of a 12-hour show that we're streaming. But all of Los Angeles is basically in poverty. Santa Monica, 3rd Street Promenade, completely empty. Las Vegas, all the shows and all this, besides the main casinos, we have everything. All the retail places are vacant. I've never seen such devastation, and it's because all of our money is going into war and into terrorism. And I'm believing that it has already basically happened at our doorstep. I'm thinking we've had too many trains that have been derailed. I'm thinking we've had too many gas leaks. And when you have too many people that are here illegal, don't call them anything else than illegal aliens. We have too many illegal aliens that have been let in. And there's only one guy doing it, and his name is Joe Biden. And he is violating the Constitution, the very first paragraph of it that says that we have the ability to have posterity. I want you to look on behind me. As you can see, the fire chief of Fort Worth, Texas, basically talking about the fact that we had a building explode in Fort Worth. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We're having too many weird accidents. Okay? And there is I'm going to tell you about the constitutional violation about the border. And if you're a governor, if you're in Congress, listen up, because I'm empowering everybody in America to understand your violation. This first paragraph of the Constitution is what gives all these nimrods the right to use our money, and they're in a violation of it by the open border. Then there's a Supremacy Clause 6.2 that says they have to follow this. So Greg Abbott, everybody's in a violation. If you do not follow this, you are committing treason. You are not following the first paragraph. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is absolutely correct. God bless you, ma'am. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. Stop. We can't establish justice with an open border when we're letting criminals in. We don't let criminals out. Why are you letting criminals in? Ensure domestic tranquility. Stop right there. See, when you're letting terrorism in and illegal aliens in, we can't have domestic tranquility. Provide for the common defense. A common defense, again, starts with the border or walls on your house. You've taken the border away and the walls on our house. Promote the general welfare. I've never seen so many people living in tents. When I was a child, when 2 people died from Tylenol, it made international news, and we got on top of it and stopped it. Today, 275 people a day on average die from an illegal pressed pill, courtesy of Xi Jinping in China and this administration, and they're taking all of our kids out left and right. This administration is enabling it. There's no other news source talking about it. If we talk about phony vaccines that are true, or if we talk about the war on medicines that are true, they try to tell us that we're not telling the truth, and guess what? That needs to be investigated further, and all these news people that have promoted the phony doctrines need to do time for promoting a lie. They're not news journalists. Shoot, I respected Sam Donaldson and people that went to the same military OCS academy as I did, because we had to fight for this country to save America back when I grew up. Now all you kids think you're entitled to that in your feelings, and here you are. Only 11% of you are even able to join the services because you're so drugged up and mentally full of yourselves that you can't raise a family, nor do you want to. Well, listen to here. That's the general welfare that's being violated in America, because you can't even open a door for a woman anymore because you have no manners, so you don't even know what a woman is. And that's the society we're bringing you today. Let's say God did a bad job with a girl and a boy. Let me tell you something. That nonsense is unacceptable to a Christian, to a Muslim, and to a Hindu. So this 1% is pissing off the world and every parent that's out there, and I'm right about it. Now, from the general welfare, which they're violating, that's what secures the blessings and liberty to ourselves and our posterity. And that's what establishes this Constitution and ordains and establishes this Constitution for the United States of America. So under that preamble, which gives them power, they're violating it. So they're violating what ordains them the right to govern us. As such, I'm asking we do another election, one that's free from failure, that does not violate the 24th Amendment. The way that we have ballots today has no forensic accountability. I don't want it just paper. It better not be paper that looks like a Chinese menu, because you can't even put a donkey on an elephant on there. They even had the wrong characters of the zodiac, so to speak, on our tablets last time. Complete, utter nonsense. You need the last 4 digits of your social security and a signature and an email address so that we can contact your butt and make sure it was you that filled it out. Because there's too many illegals that have an ID, and in a lot of states they're letting IDs vote. Illegal aliens with IDs vote. Look at California and everywhere else. I'm amazed. Illegal aliens going all over the place with IDs that look just like yours and mine. So if we don't have that worked out, we're done, because we have a whole bunch of people, an army of people that are here with one thing in common, and that is to establish their goals. That takes away our posterity, because our general welfare is already gone. I want to thank Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. I want to thank Congressman Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert and everybody that has defended my president, who is your president. That's President Donald Trump. And I want to commend great Americans such as Mike Lindell that have helped discover the truth at the Moment of Truth Summit, where we took sheriff, county clerks, and guess what? I interviewed several DOD colonels and generals, and we busted up Smartmatic and Dominion. So even though they're all working with Blackrock and Blackstone, I showed you how much money we're facing. All that oil and gas money, the petrodollar, we lost it. That's what we're fighting. Those are the forces that are taking the United States of America down. We need to make that illegal. We need to turn over their cases. We need to give freedom back to the press. And the press that you're seeing now is not a press. They're just paid for actors that deliver a phony speech. It's either on behalf of Jerusalem half the time, or this Blackrock stuff that you're seeing behind me. But you know what it's not for? It's not for red, white, and blue and me and you. Anyways, that is my spin on it. And there are many of you that are seeds out there that are going to hear this and you're going to dry out. There are going to be some that are basically going to hear it and take the information, but then get choked out by the weeds that are around you. But some of you will be the fertile soil where you'll grow into a tree, create many more seeds, many more that believe and know what is right, know what is wrong, know when you hear the shepherd's voice, our Father who art in heaven. And I want to bless all of you and all of my brothers and sisters. Amen. And I'll see you on the Major News Network on Roku. That should be streaming worldwide come on Friday. And as far as the police that responded and the sheriff out there in Fort Worth, Texas, God bless you and everybody that's helping all of our victims out in the hospital. Amen. We'll talk soon.